Hey, yo, man, what's good? We back with another episode of the Real Rap Coalition podcast. We got another movie. I'm Showtime Slim. Everybody introduce yourself. Who we got in the building?
I'm big Lordy Lord, man. Don't ever recommend me no black ass shit because I ain't watching it.
He's going to watch the black ass shit. He's lying.
It's the token Mexican, man. John Doe, 562 West Coast, nigga, for the summer.
Shout out to Token.
Bob Celeste, anti-maniac. Let's get it, man. Come on.
It's the third episode. You talking about the maniac.
It's Black Rudy Rootz. What's that name?
Well, hell no.
All right, shout out Rudy. All right, so this week we had the Lincoln Lawyer. It was a choice by me, so I'm gonna go ahead and kick it off. So pretty much we start off with Matthew McConaughey, and he's playing this criminal defense attorney. His name was like Mick something, so I'm gonna call him Mick. And so the movie is basically about he starts off talking to some of his clients, which is like a biker gang. They got this client partner, whatever he was, part of the gang. He was in jail, and so that's kind of where the scene sets. It starts off with him kind of going through like his daily lawyer shit, and so a little bit later down the line, it transitions to, let's say, he gets this case from, what's the dude named John.
Rowlett.
Well, yeah, that was the person he was defending name. The Mexican guy.
Jose Martinez. No, Jesus Martinez.
John Leguizamo. I don't know what his name was.
His name was Jesus Martinez.
No, that was Michael Pena. They look alike. They look alike to me. But yeah, regardless, I thought so too when I first watched it. They look alike. But so he gets a case, and it's this kind of preppy, rich kid, white guy, and basically he's on trial for assault and rape of this.
Slim.
Yep.
You talking about the Rowlett nigga?
Yeah.
That nigga ain't no kid. That 32. That nigga older than all us.
Well, yeah. I got the impression of him being like this young punk, like a jock type of preppy college kid. Yeah, he was. They said he was like 32. So he's not a kid. Actually, he's a fucking adult. Although, why was he living with his mama? Anyways. So yeah, because I just realized
I don't think he was living with his moms. I think it was that whole rich aspect, like family aspect. I gotta protect my son. Like they seemed like they was like super duper close, definitely. And he took on the business or whatever.
It's a family.
Yeah, exactly.
They all work. The mom used to be in real estate. He worked in real estate. They some real estate, motherfuckers.
I tell you this, they didn't say he didn't live with her, so I think he lived with her.
And whose house was that? Well, that's towards the end of the movie. But whose house was that when he was like waiting for that nigga to get home and they beat the shit out?
That was his family.
Shorty house.
Marissa Tomei, his ex-wife.
Yeah.
That was his ex-wife. It never said whether or not they were married. I assumed that they was like together and then
they had a child.
A kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so then they just were like strictly, like co-parents that get busy sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, at the beginning though, like he was really trying to defend this nigga though. Like the white dude, he was whatchamacallit. He at first, you know what I'm saying, it seemed like he got set up by this bitch by all accounts and shit. But at the same time though, like he was shaky. Like they made it look like it could go either way.
Yeah,
like,
he was telling like some lies and shit about the knife and all this. Like it was like inconsistencies in his argument. So yeah, they kind of made it to where, kind of like what we said about Shutter Island last week. They kind of kick it off to where you don't know which side to be on. Like you don't know who's telling the truth and who's not, or what's real and what's not. And so I like how they kind of keep the mystery like that with these type of movies.
Yeah, they didn't let us like too much into it, but it was easy to form an opinion still. But nonetheless, like I feel like Matthew McConaughey is so damn perceptive. Like it didn't matter what anybody was saying to him. Like he was thinking of it like a few steps ahead. You know,
Right.
you real playmaker, at least for the the beginning of the movie, but down the line shit got complicated. That nigga even looked shaky, right?
Oh yeah. With that being
Yeah,
said,
I'm
there
not.
are
Oh, go ahead.
spoilers. Let me put this out. There are spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie, then go ahead and watch the movie
Go
and come
watch
back
the
to it.
movie, Goofy.
Yeah,
That
it is
rhymes.
rather foolish of you to come to this podcast knowing damn well you don't have the
But
movie
I'm gonna
watched
keep
yet.
it
It
a buck.
says
Keep it a buck,
movie
Luno.
review in the title.
I'm gonna
Stupid.
keep it a buck
Go
though. I
ahead,
be watching,
Pujols.
I be listening to movies that I never seen either. Like I don't
So
be
they
caring
calling
about.
you stupid right now.
I mean, I
These
guess,
cast members are
but
calling you stupid.
it make
Yeah,
me
you
want to
might
go
be
watch the
dumb.
movie though.
You might be dumb. You might really be dumb, to be honest. Like I don't even know why you
But
even
how?
get
How?
out. Only the real niggas can stay for real. It's real rap, so only real
I'm never
niggas.
gonna watch the movie. Why not watch a review on some shit that I don't give a fuck about?
Nah,
I'm a guarantee.
it's like a Spark Notes version, I guess you could say.
Oh man.
Oh man, but
But
yeah,
I'm gonna set the credit to working.
Slim said they kept the mystery. I don't think
Mhm.
they really kept. I don't really think they really focused
Well,
on mystery. I
well,
think they
well. Let
just
me say
gave
this,
one
Root.
side of it.
I'll say this: they kept the mystery for a minute. While they was kind of giving the inconsistencies, like when he lied
Mm,
about the knife and shit being his, and it kind of
mm.
like made you speculate. But then it was like, well, Matthew McConaughey, he was like so into like trying to prove this dude's innocence, and the reason he was doing that was because he realized he fucked up with an old client, and he got the dude like 15 years when he was really innocent. That's who he was talking
Yeah,
about,
he
Jesus
got him off. He
Martinez.
got him off death row.
Yeah, he got him off death row. He took a plea and got 15 years. And the dude was like, telling him, "Hey man, I'm innocent. I don't want to take no time. I'm innocent." But he still, he got the dude 15 years.
They definitely they progress it well. So first off, he's a defense attorney, so he has to try to prove the innocence of whatever client he is, because that's how
Right.
you get more clients. You know what I'm saying? So he's just doing his job essentially. That's
Mm-hmm.
how the movie starts, and then he actually starts feeling for. Not feeling for, but he starts like kind of feeling bad for
I'm glad you changed that.
this guy. He starts feeling bad for this dude, Lewis, I think his name is.
What? He started doing what?
Whatever, man. You started feeling bad for him or whatever, because he's like, man, he really sounds innocent. You know what I'm saying? This story that he's spinning me, it sounds like
Right.
he's innocent. And then they get
Right.
the whole thing with the knife and the in which I wonder if this thing actually happens, like between the kind of like constant rivalry between the DA's office and the police department. You know what I'm saying? So like they sent them the fake picture of the knife in the discovery, which wasn't the
Yeah,
knife that he
facts.
had. In which Lewis said whenever they was going over it, he was like, "That's not my knife." And
Yep.
he was right. Later on, whenever he said, "I said it," y'all didn't listen to me. They actually didn't say anything to him saying that's not my knife.
But
But at the same time, once he starts kind of figuring things out and seeing things for what they actually are, now he's back into I gotta do my job, but I really don't want to because I know this dude is a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying?
so before we get
Yeah.
to that, I want to bring up that point. So I like how they did the mid movie plot twist, because I'm a big plot twist kind of guy. And so I love how they did the mid movie plot twist, because I don't even think we was halfway into the movie. Maybe I think we were. We was a little over halfway through the movie whenever we find out, okay, he actually did do it, and they're confessing that he did do it. But like Root said, you're still the criminal defense attorney, so you have to try to prove his innocence, even though he just told you he killed her and he, committed the crime that he was on trial for now. Because he actually admitted to killing the last person that Jesus was in jail for.
You know how fire that is, bro? He
That's
set
crazy.
his ass up.
That's crazy. Yeah, he was really
That
good.
shit
He was really
fire.
good at what he was doing. And so
In the
I like how they
beginning,
do that. I like
in
how
the
they did that.
beginning, the nigga was like,
Yeah.
I never heard of you before.
Mick's partner was like, yeah, he got me in his trick bag
He
or
said,
whatever,
"Fuck
which
you
sounds
talking
kind of
about."
weird, but he sound kind of weird. Having somebody in a trick bag sound wild, but like
Yeah.
Matthew
White people.
McConaughey just as a character, like I actually like Matthew McConaughey just a little bit more because of this movie.
Oh
I've
yeah,
never really
he
watched
played a great.
movies
Matthew
to
McConaughey is
see
a
him
god.
perform.
He
He's a
played a
god.
great
Nah,
role.
most definitely.
What you were saying, Pujols, before that?
Oh no, I was saying when he was in the beginning, the dude, I guess stepdad was like, shit, you want my choice? I ain't never even heard of you. And he was like, you was
It wasn't no
Lewis's choice.
stepdad, Pujols.
What was he? He was just his
It was
mama's
like the
boyfriend.
family lawyer.
You sure?
Yeah, he was a lawyer.
Oh, I guess that nigga was like, he ain't my choice. And the nigga was like, you're
Yeah.
Lewis' choice. And the nigga was like, I wonder what the fuck. I wonder why, bro. Why am I this nigga? This is why, nigga. Because he already,
Yeah.
nigga already, nigga's a hoe, boy.
Hey, that's crazy too. And what you just said to where he was like, "You wasn't my choice, you was Lewis' choice." That made him realize that the dude, his name was John Leguizamo. I can't, I don't know how to really say his name.
That's not his name. That's his name.
That's his real name. I
Yeah,
don't know
that's
what
his
his name
real
was.
shit.
At the beginning of the movie, he told Matthew McConaughey's character, he told him like, "Yeah, I recommended you." Yeah, but the other guy, I don't know his name. Besides that, he told him like, "Yeah, I recommended, him to you," type shit. And then when the lawyer told him like, "Yeah, nah, he requested you," that's when he thought to himself, "Oh, this dude lied to me." And later on in the movie, he came back to him whenever, his partner investigator got killed, and he was like, "You lied to me before." You know what I'm saying? You told me you told me that you, and that's crazy because he knew dude lied to him and he ain't say nothing about it until that moment. He kept that shit to himself. So that was another point for that. But yeah, I do like how they did the little plot twist in the middle, because now we still got like the last half of the movie to go, and we're trying to figure out from the last half of the movie, like, okay, so now we know that this dude actually did it. So what's happening next? What are we going to next? Because he's still a defense attorney. How is he going to defend his client when he knows that his client is guilty of what they saying he did?
That motherfucker had that
I
shit planned out like nearly perfect, bro. Like that shit was planned down to a T. That shit was kind of crazy.
He did that shit very well, like for real.
Facts. And so basically the movie kind of goes to the end of the movie. We go to so he actually does end up getting his client, what was his name? Who else? Preppy dude.
Louise Roulette.
Yeah, him. Yeah, they actually ended up getting him off. Pause.
Hey, yo.
So pause that. So he doesn't go to jail for that. But then comes the next plot twist, and I love how many fucking plot twists they had. The next plot twist comes where he gets him off pause for this charge, but then they arrest him because of what happened in the courtroom, where they had to snitch on Stan and they set him up to reveal that dude killed the girl that Jesus went to jail for. So I like how they kind of tied that in there too. They brought dude on the stand knowing he was a snitch. And
for that part, Slim, can I ask y'all like how y'all felt about okay, first they already that nigga Matthew McConaughey, he kind of cooked the old girl when she was on the stand, but how do y'all feel about that nigga Lewis' performance when he was on the stand? Like that shit seemed very
he was convincing.
He was convincing.
That speech he gave was crazy.
Bro, he had the lip quivering and whatnot. His eyes was watering up, bro.
You know what?
If I just seen that scene without seeing anything else, I'm like, he innocent. Just based off of this, he innocent.
That's why
but you know what? I think that what's the name did a good job of making the dude from the bar look crazy in his questioning, and I feel like when he interrogated the motherfucking the snitch motherfucker, whatever. Matter of fact, when he interrogated the shorty, he made shorty look real shaky with her testimony. And so when bro took the stand, I feel like he was already kind of looking crazy, and he just got straight to the point. Like, he was already kind of set up, and I up until where he said he was gonna call in, another witness. Like this dude instantly shot up because he's like, I don't know who the fuck it is for real. But you know what? He already planned for this low key.
He knew it. Yeah.
Hey, Luno, you're talking about the car shit, right? About the driving the car. She said she didn't know he was driving what car he drove, and then she later said that she got him in the car driving.
It was too many revelations.
He told her bad.
She got trailed in the line of questioning. Now, at the end of the day, though, like when he told the shorty from his other case, who unfortunately she had to do the time after she got, you know, pinned with coke by fucking with a kingpin, right? So he told her, I'm not even here for you right now. I gotta ask you to do something for me. And she whispers to the snitch nigga in the jail and tells him some shit.
Yeah, facts.
Right. So he already like
It
kind
was
of
set up.
planted. Yeah, he planted the seed. Pause for this nigga to appear anyway. But it also happened to be the case that he happened to pull up and you know what I'm saying, make a defense too for the other side.
Hey,
So
Luno, and I think that's why it was like perfectly orchestrated by him. Mick,
That
I
shit
don't know
was
his last
genius.
name. It was perfect because
Genius.
he was able to get the snitch to come in. He actually fed the snitch the information with the girl. And
yeah.
that's what I think it was. He fed him the information of what to say on the stand. And once he got on the stand, he used that information to incriminate dude for the
That is
last
Nigga was on
shit.
another level, bro.
Yeah,
Like
that
That
was
is
crazy.
fire,
crazy.
nigga. That
Nah,
that's
not
lawyer of the year, bro.
not only that, but he still did his job
He did
to
his job.
allow the snitch to get toe up whenever I guess it was the state or the prosecutor what's it called, lawyer came up, told him up real quick. Oh, you snitched on other dude, but he happened to be innocent,
Hey,
and
but
then got him up out of there.
you know what's crazy about that? I was thinking too. So like, all right, he did all that shit right, planned that shit perfectly. He won his case right because the judge they can't fuck with that shit, right? So they had to toss it out, right? But I was thinking too, doing all that shit too, he pretty much fucked the other lawyer up because he's gonna lose his license and all that shit, and he's gonna be
Oh yeah,
fucked for
told him
life.
out the frame, bro.
That's a
He
fact
fucked
because
he fucked that
he
lawyer
brought a
up, but he
fucking
had to do
witness
it.
up there
That
that was
nigga was
like
mad.
not
He did.
credible.
Yeah,
But
he had to
hey,
do that shit,
Bro,
right? He had no choice.
he left out of, remember, so when they leaving out of the courtroom before they get the notice of the last surprise witness, whenever he left out of the courtroom, he was damn near crying, bro. Like he was stressed out when he was leaving out of there, bro.
Well, he's fucked, bro. Like no
Yeah.
one's gonna take his shit serious now. So like he
hey,
gotta
but
he
look
got a
though.
career change.
Look though, it's crazy though, because my bro didn't even have a rebuttal. He literally just made him read a line of like incriminating text in a fucking article about him, yo.
Yep.
Where he testified and somebody who was innocent was
Somebody
getting
was
punished
innocent
because
with
of
the
him.
jail.
Yeah,
It was
exactly,
over
yo.
Yeah,
with
can
That's
you
after
fucking
read
that.
this real
crazy.
quick? Yeah, all right, get out of here.
He said read that shit.
That
And
nigga
the
said,
judge
"Hey,
was
I
just
can't
like,
read that good." He said, "Now we got all take your time, brother. We got time for you."
jeez, man.
Nah, he
So
told that
Jeez.
when he had the one nigga who paid that 400 on the stand, that shit was fire too.
oh
Nigga,
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
nigga was
Mr.
like,
Mustang. Mr.
yeah,
Mustang.
He
like,
said,
do
"I
you hit
left.
her?
I left, and she was pleasured." Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, nigga told her you hit her with
She
your
was
left hand,
satisfied.
right? Nigga was like, man, am I the one on stand yet? I mean, am I the one on stand? Nigga said, not yet. That shit was fire.
But he even told him too. He's like, "Yeah." He said, "I don't hit." He said, "Yeah, but you got a strong left or some shit like that." It's just some funny ass shit.
Yo, I like how they wrote what bro said when he was making his testimony. The snitch, he was like, he was telling me, you bragging about it. He was saying that the bitch got what she deserved, using the same words.
Yeah, the
Oh yeah,
same
got what
yeah.
you
shit.
deserve.
Facts.
Yeah, that shit was
Yeah.
Yeah,
fire. And he
like
even
from
said
the
that. He
prior
even mentioned it.
conversation.
He
Yo,
even mentioned
so
it too.
crazy.
These are his words. You know what I'm saying? That he just got done saying deserve, and he noticed he highlighted that word too. Deserve. What do you mean
Mhm.
deserve? That shit was crazy.
Right.
Yo,
So
the dude who
yeah,
was
go ahead.
prosecuting was like, yo, like, deserves? What do you mean by that? Because beforehand, he tried to make a rhetorical point by pointing out that he said no girl deserves this. And then he tried to say, oh, you reduced the problem of like women being abused down to just what they deserve.
Yeah, I didn't get that. I didn't
He-
get that because that's not what he said to me.
That's not what he said, but he was trying to frame it in a certain way as if he was talking to like a senseless murderer, or
And I don't
you
think
know.
it worked. Did it work
It
to
didn't.
you?
I don't think it worked, yo. I think he
Okay,
Yeah,
Nah,
just
it
but
made
don't,
that
you
bro.
shit
got to
like
think
an
lawyers are gonna
ID,
try
no
everything they
matter
Well,
can.
what.
It worked. So it worked in the prospect of
The other guy's
the
defense.
snitch coming up and saying exactly the snitch coming up and saying the exact same thing. It gave a point of reference to compare the two things.
That's
Saying
what's
he's
really good about
saying,
it too, because that fell into his lap. Because I
yeah,
mean, the defense lawyer's not going to tell. I mean, that was, you know what I mean, saying like defense lawyer's not going to tell him to say that shit to the person he's defending. So just so happens to fall perfectly into what the snitch said about the deserve shit, which is fucking crazy as fuck
exactly.
too.
It was just they needed one point to try to connect between what the snitch was saying
This
and what
movie is
Lewis was
cold.
saying,
You know
and
what's
that and
fucking
that and that's
crazy,
what it
dude?
was.
The coincidence, the sheer like game theory that like works out for this nigga goes even back to before like the main testimonies were given, yo. This motherfucker was in a elevator, on the way to like do this shit, and she was like, she was like, oh, so your man, you dude's free or whatever. It's like, like or like shorty is like, what I'm saying, free or whatever. She said, yeah, she's being held over at the USC, what I'm saying, fucking rehab or whatever, right? This motherfucker like opened up. He like, wait, what? Because he knew Shorty, he gave her the advice that, if she takes the time, she could go to that facility. So it was already lined up. He already gave her the advice to go there and shit. He had somebody internally as well. So if that motherfucker, relied on a snitch or whatever, she was ready to, what I'm saying, intercept. So he must have
Yeah.
found the article before, found out that dude was staying at the same place that Shorty ended up staying at, and he went there at the last minute before the surprise, testimony, and like, yo, if you see this nigga, yo, tell him this, son.
Well, also
Y'all
too,
know what's crazy about that? Go ahead, John. Go ahead.
I was gonna say also too, like he's a lawyer, so he probably already knew about that type shit, and already had that shit, so that shit kind of just worked
Yeah,
out good.
so it kind
Maybe,
of
but
goes
I
back
feel
to what
like,
I was saying
yeah,
about in what was it, Death on the Nile with the detective and whatnot, and having all of these points of knowledge and then being able to connect all of them in order for your to accomplish your goal, which and that was to solve a murder case. But in this one, it's pretty much the same thing, but he was trying to prove the innocence. But at the same time of him trying to prove the innocence in court, he was lining things up to get him locked up because he knew he was really guilty.
Yeah, facts.
yeah.
And that's the cold part about it. He definitely got him off for that charge, but then he got his ass locked right back up.
Got
But
him stocked up with another one.
although they didn't have anything, like they didn't have enough to hold him, so he got out, which is not his fault, but they didn't have
And
enough to
then
hold him, so he got out.
Mick went and got the ratchet.
He knew where he
Went
was
and sat
going.
in the crib.
He knew where he was going, bro. He was going straight to his family house.
But blonde bro is a fuck nigga, bro. Yo, how you get got? Like you lost, bro. Like you know damn well what you did in the past and shit, and you know that you had a hand in what was going on. You get off of that crime, and then the motherfuckers catch you on some old shit, and you know you got. But because you know your mom has a gun, you gonna walk away smiling? No, nigga, you still lost. This nigga had the heat too. Like,
He really got his mama killed.
Hey, so that guy was just like a serial rapist then, right? Because
he
did that
was
shit before.
And a
definitely
murderer.
was.
A murderer too.
And a murderer.
Wasn't they saying like that shit wasn't gonna be able to stick in court? Like they just got him locked up for the time being for that shit he did.
Yeah. That's why he ended up getting out because they didn't have anything to hold him.
But Rootz, that's what I think he was laughing at. I think he was laughing because he knew that he was getting locked up, but they wasn't gonna be able to hold him. So he knew he was finna get out, and he was planning revenge. That's why he went straight to dude family house.
I took it as when he laughed. I took it as like, damn, you motherfucking bitch! Like, god
he
damn.
knew that his mama had a gun, and he was like, "My mom's gonna get you." Walking away, smiling, smirking.
We're gonna get got.
That is just in this nigga house. How they just? I mean, I know.
Yo,
how.
this nigga needs.
He said his reasoning was like, we're in retail, so we know how to get in houses.
Real estate, nigga, not deep.
Oh, real estate, we do real estate, so we know how to get in houses.
Bro, this nigga needs
retail
ADT.
Can't do that.
This nigga needs, you know what I'm saying? Like, because that shit, both of them did it. And you know what's crazy too? If that blonde nigga was any smart, yo, like, he needs the lawyer to get out of the case. So he's not gonna kill him or whatever. But if you was gonna get into somebody's house, yo, he would have needed like a lead on his family or something. Like, he would have needed something else. Because going to this nigga's house directly is just showing that you more guilty, yo.
So how do y'all feel about that the last scene plot twist when he walked in the house and the mom was standing right there with the gun in her hand? How y'all feel about that?
It was just to kind of tie it. Yeah, exactly. It just kind of tied in. Oh, she's in on it too. Like, that's all that did for me.
Yeah, exactly. There was nothing prior in the movie introduced for me to truly suspect her. It's a wild revelation.
They kicked her out. They kicked her out the fucking room earlier.
Well, okay, they kicked her out of the room or whatever, but that doesn't mean that she has a gun or she, kills people to silence them. Like, we don't know. So, like, the fact that it's like a family affair on behalf of this dude's guilt or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It means all of them are implicated. But it could have been Mr. Dobbs or whatever.
Well, I'll say this, Luno, you right about that, but I will say that they might have had one little clue that we might have overlooked because I didn't pay attention either. It's my second time watching the movie, but I think the one clue that they gave to where it wasn't him that killed the investigator was the fact when they talked about
the tracer.
the tracer. And they
Yeah.
said the tracer was nowhere near his house. And the Hispanic dude, I don't know what his name was, but he swore, he was like, nah, I didn't take it off, because he was like, you're the only person that could do that. Yeah.
But Slim, look at this is what is that could be a clue too. But the thing is too, that guy was already sketchy and a liar, so you couldn't really believe him anyways. You know what I'm saying? And
was he really sketchy? He did tell one
he
little lie
lied
at the beginning of the movie. He
Yeah,
did.
but like-
He told one lie. It was like a
but
small lie.
the only scene he's in, it's him lying. So it's already like, okay, well, is this nigga a liar or what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's a fact.
if the only scene I see is this motherfucker
Wow, if
lying.
you only meet somebody one time, the first time they lie to you, they're a liar.
Yeah,
to
that's
you
a
as
bad.
well.
That's a bad. They gave him a bad first impression of him being a liar. You know what I'm saying? Even though it was his friend.
But you know what's crazy? When I seen it and they kind of revealed that he lied, I still didn't look at him like he was a bad person.
No. It's not that. It's just it's a bad first impression. But also too, I was gonna say about the mom with the gun. That just adds to the plot twist because I didn't see that shit coming. To be honest with you, so like,
Me either.
I
that
think it
shit
was
was
just
kind
a plot twist for the sake of a plot twist, honestly.
Well,
Yeah,
I think
but
I think it was to tie up loose ends, like y'all said, because somebody killed the investigator and she kind of revealed that she did it. And so I think it was to tie up loose ends, kind of.
You know what? There is a clue there. I apologize, because the fact that they met at the table and shook hands, and this dude was the investigator, right? Like
Mhm.
the mom and the dad both knew, like, you know what I'm saying? So it could have it was definitely, there were two people who knew about his existence. His ex-wife, nah, she ain't do that shit.
Nah.
You know what
She
I'm
was a good
saying?
girl
Like,
the whole movie.
the other prosecutor, nah, like, like, it just, there's nobody else really but those
It had to
two.
be
So
somebody with ulterior motive too, like who would have
they
motive
gotta
to do
they
it.
gotta know that who the investigator is and have a reason to snub him. And I feel
Right.
like it was probably just the parents assuming they were in on it, which wasn't clear to us at the time.
I
you
think.
know what though? Oh, go
Yeah,
ahead. My
yeah. Go
bad.
ahead.
No, go
Nah,
ahead.
go ahead.
Well,
Nah,
Wow.
no,
go
finish
ahead.
it. This is gonna be off topic. I was just gonna say, my bad, but this just shows like, bro, any parent who defends a kid for being a rapist and a killer is fucking sick. Like you're fucking sick. What are
Yeah,
you
that's
doing that
true.
for?
Like
This is
they
Let
really,
us know, bro.
like, I'm
Like
not
white
saying
people
like I
run the
wouldn't want
world.
my
They can do
family
Hey,
to
whatever
look,
get
they
and
want
stressed.
she
to.
was a rape victim too herself.
Yes, and she got raped. So what the fuck are you defending your son for? He's a predator, and you should be a
But
predator in your eyes.
some people feel like their kids aren't
Do no
capable of that
bad.
shit, even though they
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, she's probably just going through denial. But like,
That
she
nigga
got her
did
shit
the fuck
stolen
out that
before, and he over here stealing shit. The fuck?
Well, but look though, she was just as bad as him. She killed the fuck. She committed murder. He didn't. He did commit murder, but she committed
Yeah,
it
he
in
killed
front of.
bitches, and he
Yeah,
stole pussy.
but she. That's a fact. But she was just like him. She ain't steal no pussy, but she killed somebody.
Yeah, she got her shit stolen.
nigga
Shit.
stole her shit.
Come
Yo,
on,
can we
man.
stop saying that? That
All right,
sounds
man. So
wild.
look. Let's get to
My bad.
let's get to the ratings, man. Let's go around the room, man. What
Get
y'all
to
rated?
you said rapes. I thought you said rapes. I'm saying you
Oh,
wild.
Whoa.
this nigga's crazy.
All right, the ratings. Can I get my rating first?
Yeah, go ahead. I gotta think about a rating because I ain't think about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna make this shit quick. Anyways, pause. But I feel like, to be honest with you, I don't really have nothing negative to say about this movie. I thought this shit was kind of fire. It's a top tier movie to me. I definitely recommend this shit to people. I'm gonna give that shit like a 9.5, bro. I'm gonna give it a buck. That shit was clean. Solid
Okay.
9.5. Go ahead.
Next.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Roots.
All right, bet. So I didn't see anything wrong with this movie as well. There was some little deficiencies or inaccuracies for me. Just speaking of the mother being the killer or whatever, cool, whatever. That didn't really do anything for me. But because of the actors in this movie were like really, really fucking good, and the movie itself was really good, plot really good. I'm gonna go ahead and give it, say, 8.2.
Okay.
Luno.
Oh man. So I pointed out earlier that, like, this was a movie that I could watch from start to finish, and I didn't feel like, how long is this movie gonna be? Which, even for like Shutter Island, like, I felt like, some parts of the story were like pretty dragged out, despite the production quality. So I really did like enjoy this movie throughout. It wasn't too long of a movie, about 2 hours, shaved some, and like honestly, it seems like it was well executed. I like the music. I like the tension building. I like the detail to the story. Um, I wouldn't say it's like the best movie ever damn seen. I don't think it's super layered, but I will say that it was extremely effective. I'm gonna give this movie here just an 8.
All right, Pujols.
I've been watching this fucking movie since I was like 12th grade in high school, so I fuck with the movie a lot. Fire, acting crazy, ridiculous movie. I'm gonna go 8.8, man.
And
Good shit.
and so so I picked the movie, and I also think the movie is fire. I will say it was more fire to me the first time I saw it, because the second time I saw it, I already knew what was happening. So it was like, I don't know if I can give it an accurate rating, since it's like I seen it already, and so I kind of paid less attention. I kind of knew what was happening, so it didn't catch me off guard. I still fuck with it. I probably give it like an 8.2 as well, because I wouldn't go that hot with it. I would give it an 8.2. So that would be a 8.5 altogether.
Fire.
That's
Nice,
fire.
nice. All right. Now I feel like my rating's too high, but I don't give a fuck. I think that shit was clean. And you know what? I feel like it's because sometimes when I watch movies, bro, I be waiting for that shit to end. And this shit, I did not really wait for it to end. I would just like watch
Hey,
that
So
John,
shit.
well, I will say, if I
here,
would have
like,
watched it for the first time, like when I saw it for the first time, I probably would have had a high ass rating like that too. But
Yeah.
since I already knew what was coming up, I definitely didn't pay it as much attention the second time. And so that's why I feel like I can't really give it an accurate rating, because I didn't watch it with the experience of like
Yeah,
not
like
knowing
new
what was
eyes.
happening. Yeah.
this one
I
right
feel you.
here, compared to like Shutter Island, you remember I think I gave Shutter Island like an 8.5, if I'm not mistaken. I don't recall what my exact rating was, but I do think that's where I had it. And I gave this one an 8. But it's so crazy because once you start getting to the 8 to the 10 range or whatever, it's like real subtleties and like points of depth that like push things over the top for me. So for me, this was something that I felt kind of like John Wick about. I do think it was well done. I do think it was well written. I think the characters are well done, and it's a classic. But I feel that a film like Shutter Island has like layers of depth, in it, that are all completely justified. It's like a kind of, what I'm saying, an intricacy that, it's a little highbrow, but I feel like if we're gonna call movies masterpieces, we gotta demand a lot from those movies.
You know what though, Luno? I think the reason why though is because it's it's the what the movie is about. That movie Shutter Island is supposed to be like, you know what I mean, layered and crazy as fuck what the plot they're going for. You know what I'm saying? Same as this one too in a way, but I think it's just a little bit more like how you said, less layered. But I understand what you're saying though. But I feel like with the movie like Shutter Island, it's supposed to be like written crazy as fuck like that with the plot they're going for and the storyline. Like it's supposed to have that crazy ass, you know.
I think what I'm arguing at the end of the day is that a movie can do everything right and still not be perfect.
No facts,
Thanks.
but that's a good rate though. 8.5, that's solid.
All right, man. That would be episode number 5, I believe.
Movie review. I mean, movie. My movie, right?
Review.
Yeah, that's a fact. John Doe got the next movie. He was
Let me get
ready.
the drum roll. Man. Hopefully this shit good. Let's see.
All right, John. What we got next week?
Peep the chat real quick.
But
We are
There
watching.
will be blood.
There will be blood, man.
Yes,
Daniel
sir.
Day
Classic.
Lewis.
Let's go.
Classic,
All
man.
right.
Y'all
who's
gonna
in
enjoy
that
this
movie?
Daniel Day Lewis.
That's John Leguizamo.
shit. Yeah, that nigga name funny as hell, bro.
All right, man. That's episode number 5, I believe, of the Real Rap Coalition podcast. I think of the name. And we are out.